Hi, Manny from Gourmet Takeaway. Today we're gonna be baking for you a beautiful and delicious, authentic Lithuanian rye bread, sourdough bread today. And you follow the recipe, we're gonna be telling you and we're gonna be showing you how we do it. This is the pumpernickel sourdough starter. And we do this overnight. What we do is we put the starter in a pan. We add the water to it. So here we dissolving the starter with the water. So when the starter is dissolved in the water, we add 2 cups of flour gradually, and we stir it in. So here, after we added 1 cup of the flour, it looks nice. Now we're gonna be adding the 2nd cup and incorporate it into the mixture. So here we are, we almost incorporated the 2 cups of the flour into the starter. Okay, now we're gonna be covering up the dough. And we're gonna let it sit overnight for about 12, 16 hours. So we are doing our bread in the evening here, and so we let it rest, cover it and let it rest overnight. Here we are using saran wrap to cover the mixture and let it rest for overnight. Here we are in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Now we're gonna continue making our Lithuanian sourdough bread. And what we're gonna do today is we have here half a cup of water. We're gonna warm water, and we're gonna add the molasses to it. We like molasses with this bread. And here we're gonna be adding the salt to the molasses and water to dissolve it before we add it to the dough. So we stir the molasses, salt, and the warm water to dissolve it properly, and that will be easier to incorporate with the dough. Okay, now we're gonna be adding the molasses mixture and salt to the dough and mix it properly.
This is the starter that we had the night before.
Yeah. So you work it in until everything incorporate together. Okay, now after we incorporated the molasses, now we're gonna add the 2 remaining pumpernickel flour to the mixture.
Cups of flour.
2.
Yeah, gradually.
So we add the flour gradually and we work it in. And here, after we added the 1st cup of flour, we're gonna add the 2nd cup and work it in properly. As you can see here, we add the flour gradually and then we work the dough. And now we're gonna add some caraway seed according to the recipe, and we're gonna be mixing it in. Now we're gonna be adding the sunflower seeds. That's what we're using with our recipe this time. And we're gonna be mixing it in pretty well. So we mix the fennel, caraway. Oh, it's caraway this time? Okay, caraway and sunflower seeds. So now we let it rest, as Joyce said, for about 20 minutes. We cover it with
25.
25 minutes?
Yeah, just let it absorb everything.
All right. Here, after 25 minutes of resting, now we're gonna take the dough and we're gonna knead it for about 8 minutes. So you can see the consistency of the dough, how it's supposed to be. Here as you can see, this dough is very sticky, and so you scrape everything. See, as you can see how it is like gummy. That's how the consistency of this type of bread is supposed to be. And then now we work it in, knead it for about 8 minutes, this way to encourage the building of gluten. By kneading it is not going to change too much of the texture, but just to encourage buildup of gluten to the dough. Okay, now we begin kneading the dough for about 8 minutes. See, as you can see, it sticks to your hand like that. This is the right consistency we're looking at. And the dough is nice, see, nice and wet like that. Not too wet and not too dry. That's how the bread's supposed to be. Okay? Okay, after kneading it for about 8 minutes, see, this is the consistency. See how it is, like this is what's supposed to be, like that. Okay, so after kneading it, putting it together, see, now we make it look like see how it is, nice and throws easy. So now I'm gonna put it in this pan here. This is 4x4x9. That's what we're using, but if you don't have that kind of pan, you can use 2 smaller ones. Okay, so here I take it out, hold it, and put it inside. You know, as you can see here, we battered with the pan and floured it, so this way it doesn't stick to it. And here we are. Okay, so here, as you can see, I wetted my hand a little bit so I can smooth it and even it out. So this is how you do it in order for you, because otherwise it will be really sticky. All right, as you can see here, this is a very sticky dough. So see, like it's all over your hands.
You can put oil before you do it
if you want. So, and that's how the dough is sticky. So don't be surprised if when you're doing it that the dough is sticky. All right. Okay, now when we smooth it in the pan, we're gonna cover it with a wet towel, kitchen towel, and we're gonna let it rest for about 3 to 3.5 hours. Until
it's just under the rim, like a 1/2 inch under the rim.
Yeah, so the dough supposed to rise to the top of the pan minus maybe 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. Okay, here we are. So after about 4 hours or so, between 3.5 to 4 hours, so the dough rises almost like a little bit, 3/4 inch below the rim, and that's how it looks. Beautiful. Now we're gonna be adding some flour on top of it. It's all nice and floured. Now we're gonna slash it about 3 times, I think, right? 1, 2, 3. All right. And here we are. We're gonna put it into a 400 degrees oven. Okay, we'll let this bake on 400. We'll check it in about 45 minutes to see how it's doing. Here, after 45 minutes, we're gonna test.
No, it's not ready.
What's the temp?
150, 180. It should be around 200, 210.
200.
Now this side is 204.
Yeah.
But this side No, I think I'm gonna put it for 5 more minutes.
Okay, 5 more minutes. We are after baking it for 50 minutes. Now we're gonna check the temperature. One side.
Yeah, it's done. 209. 209. Yeah, 213. It's more than done.
All right. So the
50
bread is
minutes.
50 minutes and it's done.
So,
So now we're gonna take it out of the pan and let it rest. Oops. It's hot stuff here. Here we are.
mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Wow.
Put it in the sink.
Yeah, but let me look
Turn
at
it over,
Oh, okay.
because you don't want marks on it.
All right. Here we are. Nice. Okay, now we let the bread rest for 24 hours before we cut it. Or else, if you start cutting it right now and it's warm or earlier than 24 hours, the bread will be a little bit gummy. So we wait for 24 hours and then we'll show you how it looks like inside. Okay, we'll see you in 24 hours. Okay, here we are after 24 hours. Now we're gonna cut the bread and show you how it looks like from the inside. Here we are. Wow, look at this. Beautiful. Isn't it? Delicious. Wow. What a beautiful piece of bread. Okay. And here we have our rye starter for our next loaf. After we finish eating this, we're gonna be doing another loaf. Okay, hope you guys do it and bake some and show us some pictures of your bread, all right?